How's it going, guys? I'm that socially awkward gamer you probably forgot existed, otherwise known as PattyJack. Welcome to Hope or Nope. This is the show where we take a game that's soon to be released, and we say whether we hope it's going to be good or we think it's going to nope out of existence and suck. Today we will be talking about Shadow of Mordor because it comes out in less than a week at the time of my recording of this on the 24th of September. But before we do that, let's talk about the last episode. We talked about Dragon Age Inquisition. And at the end of it, I said I hoped it would be a good game, so I gave it the hope, the big hope stamp. And we're just going to go through a comment that I got on that video, because, you know, that's what we do in this series. So the comment comes from Hangman for Hire. He says, "Hope. I personally love the amount of depth in the characters, world, story, and character progression in Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age 2 had more fluid combat, but essentially took a step back in every other aspect. Dragon Age Inquisition appears to be making a hybrid of the two games, fluid combat with the depth of the classic RPG-centric Dragon Age Origins." So, I pretty much agree with that. I mean, the game, it looks like BioWare has learned from their mistake, and they're going to incorporate the best of both worlds into Inquisition, and then add in like a bit of Witcher-esque stuff into it, which I'm totally fine with, so good on you, Ben. If anyone has any comments at the end of this episode, please preface them with hope or nope if you think the game's going to be a success or not, and then I will feature them in the next episode if I see fit. Okay, so let's move on to Shadow of Mordor, the topic for today's episode. So this game is being developed by Monolith Productions and Behavior Interactive in kind of a joint project. It's being published by Warner Brothers, which is weird because for some reason I thought it was Ubisoft for a while, but never mind. Anyways, Monolith Productions, they have worked on Fear 1 and 2, Gotham City Imposters, and Guardians of Middle-earth. Gotham City Imposters was a fun game, I really enjoyed it, but it was a horrible PC port, there was no denying that, so I'm a little concerned if they're handling that side of things, because, I want a good PC port, I don't think it's that much to ask. Guardians of Middle-earth is a Lord of the Rings game, so it's good that they've worked on that, but from what I hear, it wasn't especially good, and that might have something to do with it was a MOBA that you actually had to pay for, if I'm not mistaken, so that probably didn't do it any favors. And I can't tell you anything about Fear 1 and 2 because I've never really played the games. Behavior Interactive, they've produced a lot of shovelware, so a lot of like movie tie-ins and things like that. They made the PSP port, rather, for Dante's Inferno. They also helped on Naughty Bear and Lord of the Rings Conquest. I really liked Lord of the Rings Conquest. That's the only game out of any of these I've actually played, unless I've played some of that giant list of shovelware they have. So it's good to see that the developers have worked on a Lord of the Rings project before, because that way they actually understand the lore and they don't have to like try to. They have a less likelihood of screwing it up. And this is a canon thing in the universe now. This entire game, it's a prequel that takes place way before Lord of the Rings. But it is canon now, so I'm happy that they at least have some like knowledge of the source material, because we could see something really bad happen if they didn't. So right now, Shadow of Mordor is supposed to come out on September 30th for PC and the current gen consoles. So that would be the PS4 and the Xbox One, obviously. And I believe it's mid-November for the last gen, so the PS3 and the 360. I'm glad the PC version's coming out right away, because that doesn't honestly happen as often as it should nowadays. So big bonus points for you for that, for including PC as the next gen. Thank you, from a PC gamer. And, you know, as we've seen more and more gameplay of this, I've warmed up to it more and more. I like the fact that they have actually shown us gameplay in Shadow of Mordor. They haven't tried to hide it at all, which is really, really refreshing, because you see a lot of games that boast about their gameplay all the time, but they don't actually show any of it. They'd rather show a cutscene or something. I believe The Order 1886 was pretty notorious for that for a while. And whenever a developer shows their game willingly, like they show a lot of their game, they don't just show cutscenes or cinematics. I'm looking at you, the Old Republic. It shows that they're proud of the product they've created. So I think this game is going to turn a lot of heads. I don't think it's going to be an amazing game. I think it'll be kind of along the lines of Assassin's Creed, where it's like it's a good game, could possibly start a series, but it's not going to be this big revolutionary thing. Now, let's talk about the Assassin's Creed thing for a bit, because when this game first came out, it was definitely looking a lot like Assassin's Creed. It looks like a Lord of the Rings version of it, but as we've seen more of it, I think that they've shown us enough differences to kind of get everyone past the whole you can free run just like in Assassin's Creed bit, because this game seems to be a lot more about the brutality of assassinating and more about controlling your enemies and stuff. So I really like the mechanics that you can actually like take over people rather than killing them if you want to, or you just get more options in how you complete your missions, because Assassin's Creed is horrible for that. You have to go and do everything to the letter or else you screw up, and that's because of the whole story, you're going back in time and all that. So I think that the way Shadow of Mordor is going to do its quest line and stuff like that is going to be a lot more immersive in the world. I think you're going to feel more like a character in the world rather than someone who's in an animus playing a character in the virtual world like in Assassin's Creed. So that's going to be a big difference for me, because I'm a lore buff. I like to feel like I'm immersed in my product. I want to be in my game. If I feel like that, then I'm going to have a lot more fun. I'm going to have a lot more engaging experience. Now, do I think it's going to live up to whatever the developer is saying? Of course it's not going to. The developer will say whatever they can, and every news outlet is going to hop on their back and make articles. Like, I think there was an article made called Top 10 Reasons Why You Should Be Excited for This Game, like right after the first trailer came out, and it's not cool. So I think it's going to be a case of overhyping on this product. I don't think it's going to be as good as everyone wants it to be, but it rarely is, and that's not the consumer's fault. That's the developer and the news journalist's fault. They should be, the news journalists at least, should be reporting on a product as they see it, and they should be doing as much digging into it as possible. So I think it's going to be a fun game. I don't think it's going to be a game changer. I don't think it's going to be like anything special. It might spawn a couple sequels, but, you know, at the end of the day, all I care about is fun. So if I'm having fun in this game, then to me that's a success. And by what I've seen, all the gameplay that I've seen, all the different mechanics, all the fantastic voice acting, the immersion of the world, I'm putting this game in the hope category. I hope this game is good, and I think it will be. I don't think it's going to be a game changer, but I think it's going to be a fun romp through Mordor. I really want to see Mordor, because it's never really shown in the movies or the books that much. And I can't wait to get my hands on it and give it a try. So again, I'm putting it in the hope category. If you have your own opinion, if you agree with me, or if you don't agree with me, if you think the game is going to be a critical and or commercial success, please tell me why and preface your comment with hope. If you think that the game is going to be a failure for whatever reason, please preface your comment with nope, and then tell me why. The most interesting and most well put together comments from both sides will be featured in the next episode. And I am PattyJack. I will see you guys next time. Peace off.